Good morning. This is your morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, June 18th. Josh Carpenter here hosting today, and I'm going to steal a line from my buddy Austin Carp and say rise and shine, as he always does. Though I doubt many people in Sunrise, Florida ever actually went to bed last night because the Florida Panthers are now two-time Stanley Cup champions. That's right, they've won their second straight Stanley Cup, and as a longtime Carolina Hurricanes fan, it's hard to believe those words are actually coming out of my mouth this morning. But it's a testament to what the Panthers have built that there's now talk of a dynasty for this NHL team. 3 straight appearances in the Stanley Cup final and 2 Cup wins. These Panthers won SBJ's Team of the Year award at the Sports Business Awards just a month ago. The Panthers president and CEO Matt Caldwell recalled last month how when he joined the team a decade ago, it was, quote, terrible on the ice and had little to no fans in the stands. Well, look at them now. Season ticket sellouts, an extension at Amerant Bank Arena that now runs through 2033, a new $65 million training complex in Fort Lauderdale, and local TV ratings that have tripled in recent years. The day after the end of the Stanley Cup final is always a little bittersweet for me. It's the best trophy in sports in my opinion, and it's hard to not get emotional seeing it awarded every year. The bitter part is that it's the end of the NHL season, but we all know training camps are right around the corner in a little less than 3 months' time, so we can't wait for that. Let's shift over to the NBA Finals, which could come to a conclusion tomorrow night between the Pacers and Thunder. It's not the prettiest picture from a viewership standpoint heading into Game 6, with our Austin Carp reporting that the finals are averaging 9.2 million viewers through Game 5, which is down 19% from last year's Mavericks-Celtics finals. If that trend continues in Game 6, the NBA would see its least watched NBA finals since the COVID-delayed bubble season of 2020 when the Lakers beat the Heat. Monday night's Game 5 between the Pacers and Thunder drew 9.5 million viewers, which, excluding the 2020 series, would have been the least watched Game 5 of the finals in 22 years. All that's to say, we knew this series would be an uphill climb from a viewership standpoint with both teams coming from smaller markets. So we'll be watching closely Thursday night to see if numbers can rebound for a potential clinching Game 6 for the Thunder. Let's shift over to golf, of course, as Tuesday marked one of the more consequential days in the history of the PGA Tour. That's right, the PGA Tour formally announced Brian Rolap as its new CEO, while also announcing that Commissioner Jay Monahan would be stepping down at the end of his contract next year. So this is a multifaceted story here. First, let's start with Rolap. Who is the tour getting? Brian Rolap is one of the most influential, impressive people in sports business. And so for the tour to get someone of his ilk, it's being widely seen as a huge coup for the PGA Tour. There were big names connected to this position, people like NASCAR's Steve Phelps, and TaylorMade's David Abelese, among others. But Rolap's name kept rising to the top. Rolap was connected to this position going back to early 2024 when SBJ reported that he was a target of the tour's search, along with several other executives. Rolap has been with the NFL since 2003 in a variety of senior media roles, including chief media and business officer since 2017, making him the unquestioned top business side deputy to Commissioner Roger Goodell. Rolap gives the tour deep media connections as it plans for its next round of broadcast deals, which kick in starting with the 2031 season. We're told Rolap really won the PGA Tour's board over, and that includes players like Tiger Woods and Adam Scott. I talked to Brian late last week, and he told me the new structure of the tour with PGA Tour Enterprises was one of the things that really won him over. Following SSG's $1.5 billion investment into the tour last year, the players gain an equity piece in the tour, and as Brian told me last week, this is the Players' Tour and they own it. Now, just because Rolap's hiring is official doesn't mean the news will stop. He'll likely bring in some of his own people for top executive positions, and he'll surely be eyeing some potential changes to the tour. As he told me last week, quote, only the paranoid survive, end quote. Let's shift the focus over to Jay Monahan, who's going to step out of the commissioner role at the end of next year. This is a move that's been widely expected really for more than a year from talk to my sources, and Monahan confirmed that, telling me he made this decision well over a year ago. So let's drill into this. Monahan made clear that even though he'll be around for the next 18 months or so, Rolap is the unquestioned leader of the PGA Tour moving forward. Monahan will maintain his place on both the PGA Tour Policy Board and the PGA Tour Enterprises Board, but otherwise he'll really be helping Rolap with the transition. Jay would not get into specifics with me on what to expect after 2026, only saying, quote, "I'm going to run through the finish line and then I'll figure that out," end quote. So we could really spend all day digging into Jay Monahan's legacy at the PGA Tour, but we'll have to save that for another day. So that will wrap up today's Morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, June 18th. I'm Josh Carpenter for Sports Business Journal. Hope you all have a great day.